Pi Day 2026 review. We have the latest news on the Pi network's significant milestones and global expansion efforts.
Hey everyone, and welcome! For its 7th anniversary, Pi Network didn't just drop a simple software update, they basically laid out the blueprint for building an entirely new economy. So today, we're going to break down exactly what all these big announcements mean for the future of the network. Let's dive right in. Yeah, this was not your average everyday update. The announcements that came out on Pi Day 2026, they weren't just about tacking on some new bells and whistles. No, this was about laying down the actual foundational pillars for a real digital economy. And I'm talking about an economy that's built on something a lot more real than just hype. And the one word that ties all of this together? Utility. That's the key. It's all about creating a digital currency that you and I can actually use, for real goods and services, not just for speculation and trading. All right, so to really get what's going on with all these new tools, we've got to rewind a little bit and anchor ourselves in the network's original mission. I mean, what has this whole thing been about since day one? And this quote right here, it just nails the entire strategy perfectly. Every single new feature, every upgrade we're about to talk about is designed to push this one goal forward. So, what's the reason for all these changes? This right here. This is the why behind all the what. So how do you actually build a new economy from the ground up? Well, you give the builders better tools. It's that simple. And this first batch of announcements is all about empowering developers to create really valuable applications on the network. Okay, first up, we've got the Pi Launchpad. You can think of it as an incubator for new apps inside the Pi ecosystem. But here's the twist, and it's a big one. Its focus is totally different. It is not about raising cash. It's about getting users and creating real-world utility right from the get-go. This comparison really makes the difference crystal clear, doesn't it? See, most crypto projects, they ask for your money first, and then they promise they'll build a product later. The Pi model just completely flips that on its head. Projects need to have a working app first, and any Pi they raise doesn't just go into their company bank account. Nope, it goes straight into something called a liquidity pool, which is basically a shared pot of money that helps make sure the app's token is stable and can be traded easily from day one. For all the developers out there, this next update is a huge deal. The Pi App Studio is now live on the mainnet. That's the real deal, the official, public blockchain. This means creators can now build apps that accept actual Pi payments from this massive user base of verified people. This isn't a test run anymore, folks. This is the foundation for building real, sustainable businesses right inside the ecosystem. So, we've got new tools for the builders. But what about the road they're building on? The very foundation of the network? Well, the next major announcement is exactly that. A serious engine upgrade for the core blockchain itself. It's called Protocol 20. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like swapping out the old engine in your car for a brand new, super high-performance one. On the outside, everything might look the same, but under the hood, it unlocks a whole new level of power and capability. So the obvious question is, what can this new engine actually do? I mean, what's under the hood that's so special? Well, the answer is a whole lot. Protocol 20 brings the technical foundation for things like smart contracts, which are the key to unlocking everything from on-chain marketplaces and automated app logic to even NFTs. This is a massive, fundamental step toward a much more dynamic and programmable ecosystem. So what in the world is a smart contract? That vending machine analogy is actually perfect. You put in a specific input, your money, and you are guaranteed to get a specific output, your snack. There's no middleman, no negotiation. And Pi is planning to prioritize these for really practical things, like handling app subscriptions or securely holding funds in escrow while you make a purchase. All right, we've covered the builders, we've covered the blockchain itself. But now let's talk about the pioneers, the individual users. What do these announcements mean directly for you? This is something a lot of people have been waiting for. Second migrations are now rolling out. Now, a migration is just the fancy word for moving the Pi you've mined in the app over to the official public blockchain, the mainnet. This second wave means you can move even more of your earned Pi, and that includes the bonuses you've gotten from your referral team. Just a heads up, to keep it all safe, you'll need to have two-factor authentication set up. Okay, now this next part is one of the most incredible stories to come out of these announcements. It's about the community's role in network security. The whole Know Your Customer or KYC process, the thing that proves everyone's a real person, it's not run by some central company. It's powered by a massive global workforce of over 1 million of you, the community validators. And believe me, that workforce has been busy. Together, these volunteers have completed over 500 million individual validation tasks. To put that into perspective, that is like every single person in the United States and Canada combined checking someone's ID. It is a global effort on a scale that is just truly remarkable. And now all that hard work is getting rewarded. The first round of payments is coming from a pool of over 26 million Pi. And what's really cool is that this isn't just funded by user fees. The Pi Foundation themselves chipped in 10 million Pi to thank and incentivize all these crucial early validators. So, how'd they calculate their rewards? Well, it's actually a pretty straightforward and transparent formula. You take the total reward pool, that's the user contributions plus the foundation's sponsorship, and you divide it equally by the total number of validation tasks that were completed. For this first round, that works out to a payment of about 0.05 Pi for every single successful validation someone performed. Okay, so with all these cool new features and big upgrades, you're probably wondering, how can I get my hands on all this? How can I get involved? Well, they've launched a new utility challenge. It's super simple. You just open up the Pi app, and you'll find a checklist that basically walks you through exploring all the new features and playing around with some of the ecosystem apps. It's a great hands-on way to learn what's new, and hey, when you finish, you get an official Pi Day badge for your profile. And all of this leaves us with one big final question, right? You've got all the pieces on the board now, a massive verified community, powerful new tools for the builders, and a seriously upgraded blockchain at the core. The foundation is set. So what comes next? What is this global community going to build? That's the next chapter, and you can bet we'll be watching very, very closely.